second period, we were fortunate. The early goal early on in the game, I think, helped us relax a little bit after last weekend being, not creating as many offensive chances and not capitalizing on them. So that early goal, I think, gave us a boost of confidence and got us skating, which is what we wanted to do here tonight. So second period, I think, we made our breaks and were able to build a little cushion there. And then obviously Matt's goal in the third to get the momentum back when we were back on our heels, and they, typical Hobart, they battle and compete hard every shift, and nothing that we didn't expect from them. So they certainly weren't going to lay down or lay over. And, we had to be disciplined and mentally tough. And I would just say for our team, as I told them after the game, whether the outcome was in our favor or not tonight, they answered. They answered the bell. They answered the litmus test with what it really means to them, with their body of work this week in practice, and then throughout the 60 minutes tonight.
Coach, last week in Plattsburgh after the game, a couple of things you talked about that your team struggled with were tape-to-tape passes and keeping their feet moving in all three zones. What were your thoughts on how your team improved on a few of those struggles tonight as opposed to last week?
Well, first, Plattsburgh played extremely well. I don't want to take anything away from them, and they created a lot of the breaks that they got. Tonight, we created a lot of the breaks that we got, so your passing looks better. Many people say you have a fast team, over the years. And as we try to explain to our players, you look fast when you're able to anticipate and you know where the puck is going to go. When your team is on the same page and there's not a disconnect between your D and your forwards offensively, you were pretty effective, and we can be a good team when we are on the same page, when we're not trying to do it individually or trying to do too much.
Matt Zawadzki. I was just wondering about the home-like atmosphere that we saw tonight with the crowd that came down from Oswego. Every time you were skating by them, they were giving you a big cheer. How did that feel to have that support in a environment that you thought that might be a little bit different than that?
Yeah, I mean, it's really something special when you have your fans travel with you to these games. It brings out a great atmosphere, and it makes for something really fun for us to play in and being guys on the ice. We really appreciate when they come and they travel for us, and they come really much farther than Geneva. I mean, they came out last year to Bodwin. They come everywhere for us, and we appreciate their support, and we hope that they make the trip out to Adrian for us as well.
Coach, you came into this game only having won one in the last four, and you came out in this game with a extremely high level of intensity and enthusiasm. What do you attribute that turnaround to?
Well, first, you're not playing well. You need to reevaluate what it is you're doing, and I think our staff has enough experience that we're not. They know, hey, when they deserve to be patted on the back, we're there for them. And some nights you play well, it doesn't go your way. We have no issues with that. I think the turnaround tonight was, it started with them in practice, and that we were going to earn it, and we were going to go down swinging tonight, and we were going to play our game, and it didn't matter who we played tonight. I mean, who knows what the outcome against anybody would be, but we don't make predictions on outcome. But I would have been very disappointed had the effort and the attitude on top of the effort not been where it was tonight. And I think these guys would tell you it's not punishment or anything else. It's the reality of how hard you have to compete at this time of year. And we weren't fooling anyone. We weren't fooling ourselves. We had to get back to basics and to hard work. It's as simple as that.
This question for Matt. When the lines were changed up for you guys over the last couple of games, and you were stuck with a couple new guys, what was the difference you saw in coming back to tonight with guys you've had success with, not only on the power play, but on the line that you skate with when you guys are offenses really good?
I mean, I think the biggest difference is that we were moving our feet more. I think you could see the us was a little wake-up call, and I think we answered back very well. So.
And Matt, just follow-up question, how much did you relieve to get one pass after no goals?
Yeah,
you get two tonight?
It's been a while, I know. Yeah, it was awesome. I mean, again, we worked extremely hard in practice all week, and we kind of felt that it was coming, so I think it was a good outbreak game for our whole line, Klotz and Mueller.
Bobby, one of the 5 seniors in the lineup, the captain of this team. You saw the way that David Titanic kind of turned the Jets on towards the end of last season. And being one of the 5 seniors, knowing every game counts at this point, what was your mentality coming into a game like this tonight and knowing that from now on it's one game at a time?
Kind of treat it like that. It's, you know what, it's do or die. I was talking to Montagnum before the game, and he's just saying, you know, it's a strange feeling knowing that your kind of days are numbered here, and you know, you kind of took that as a positive, and you kind of got me thinking about it too. Is, you know, we talked on Monday with a lot of the seniors, just being this is our last run at it, and you know, leave nothing back, you know, put it all out there, and just have no regrets.
And to follow up on that, you get a goal tonight. No more when you got the point you as an assist guy. How did it feel tonight to get a goal of your own in a game like this, and kind of take to that goal?
It's pretty good, but I give all credit to Mitch.
Thank God you stopped.
That's all I do.
No, I give all credit to Mitch there. How he got that puck through was amazing. I closed my eyes and like bossy middle bar. But, you know, it's a good feeling, but it's an even better feeling to win. Knowing that we're moving on, that is the best feeling. You can't top that.
Coach, can you just talk about the matchup with Adrian next week?
Well, they've been ranked #1. They're an extremely talented team. You know, the little bit that I've watched them throughout the course of the year with a rookie coach, I think he's done an outstanding job of keeping them focused. That's not an easy job. I don't think that people have given him enough credit as his first year to go into a program where there's high expectations, and he's been able to meet those expectations. So, you know, I'm sure some of it is him, and some of it is the players. You know, it's not an easy league, especially with Norbert being in there. You're being evaluated by playing a national champion in your league. So, you know, I think. You know, the last time out there, they get after it. They're aggressive. You know, they finish every check. Quite frankly, I think there's a lot of similarities to Hobart. Is that they play. You better be prepared to match that intensity, or you're going to get embarrassed. So, you know, we'll get some rest. We'll reevaluate things here, and as we said to the players, and they clearly understand it. It's because we got through tonight. It's not, okay, let's pat ourselves on the back here and go back to some of our shortcomings in practice and in games that got us to where, you know, last weekend. So we want to move forward, and, you know, we hope, you know, we can match the same intensity and the same execution that we had tonight.
Speaking of intensity, Coach, where do you draw the line, and what do you try to talk about your team after the end of the second period, when it's very heated on the ice, and you know you have to kind of calm the guys down, the environments like that? Where's the line of intense to a point, or kind of silly and getting out of hand?
Did you say facilitate or silly?
No, or it kind of gets a little out of hand, pushing each
Gets
other.
it out of hand.
Yeah.
Well, listen, they're gonna, you know, I wouldn't expect anything else from them. They're gonna compete. They're fighting for their lives, you know. And I don't mean that in a negative way. They're gonna finish every check, and you know, however the game is being called, it is what it is. Our focus for us, we were in this situation with them, and our building, you know, same scenario. We were in the situation last year from Geneseo. So you ask about how, or people ask, you know, how you respond to those situations. Where this extra month gets you by being able to play good opponents is mental toughness and using your past experiences to learn from, good and bad. And so tonight, our ability to stay focused, as they'll tell you, after the second period, is all about focus. Are you willing to play through pain and do, I don't mean to make it sound that way, but are you willing to block shots? Are you willing to take hits? Are you willing to just, you get hammered from behind, get up and get back after it, not be looking for a call? Because that's the attitude, right, that's contagious. And so, it's college hockey, there's no fighting. Now, if that's a junior game, if I'm recruiting at the end of the second period, that's a line problem, right? But there isn't fighting in college hockey, and there shouldn't be. But both teams, emotions flare. It's an emotional sport. That's why we beat the hell out of each other in practice. We don't go out there and, well, I shouldn't say that. You know, leading up to Plattsburgh, we're out there stick checking, and we're not competing the way you need to compete to be successful. But as a coach, you have to pick and choose. You can't go all season like that, or you'd have nothing left this time of year. So it's a fine balancing act. You know, I talk with my AD all the time of no practice. Sometimes your best practice is no practice, so that your team is rested mentally and physically. And it's, these guys will tell you, you know, we beat ourselves up as a staff on when is the right time to rest, when is the right time to push the pedal, and so forth.
Any other questions, guys? All right, thanks, guys.